taking what you just said, can you apply it to what you experienced as a smoke jumper? What could have been improved there or changed there?
You know, the thing about it is I look back, and I've alluded to this with other people, smoke jumping did a lot of things right. First, it gave people the opportunity to take pride in what they do. You solved problems. There was a bias about action. If you identified a problem, you worked to solve the problem. And I think the most refreshing thing for me about smoke jumping versus especially working with various federal agencies, less so in corporations, is the fact that in jumping, you jumped or you didn't jump. You didn't issue 10 emails, memos, you didn't hold meetings talking about it. You jumped, you did it. And it wasn't about bravery or anything like that. It was about trying to do the right thing. And there's a lot of peer pressure to do the right thing. And I think jumping, at least when we were around, is a great example of that quality principle. You know, take a lot of pride, make sure it's done right, fix things when they go wrong, hire the right people.
What about comparing your experience here working with Navajo with smoke jumping, the Native American view of things? Is there anything that you see anything cross over to smoke jumping from that?
Not really. They do have Navajo firefighters. In fact, one of the kids in my class was on a fire crew for a year or so. I think it's just about, you know, I don't know if there's a direct connotation between jumping and working and teaching with Navajo and learning from them too, but I think, you know, it's just, you know, listening. One reason I feel much more comfortable around Navajos than many whites, because Navajos they're kind of quiet and they're modest. They got a good sense of humor though, and they're not really loud people. So it's, in many ways, it's a good fit for me.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you worked for the state or the county up in Utah for a while?
I worked for Washington County. I was the administrator over the Red Cliffs Desert Reserve there. It's the first one. I was there for 14 years.
Where's that at?
That's around St. George, Utah.
Oh, okay.
And it was a great experience. I had wonderful times there. As I look back, though, you start looking back with humor and maybe what you learned. And I worked with BLM, wasn't employed by them. I worked with various cities, BLM, state official officers. And a lot of people made that reserve, Red Cliffs Desert Reserve, now a national conservation area, very successful. A lot of people participated. But it was interesting. Maybe this goes back to quality in a way. Like so many things, corruption starts setting in. It becomes greed, money, how you can help all your buddies. And in that situation, and I'm proud of it, you know, I was fired because I refused to support a freeway to be built through the reserve to the county commissioners. I would not support it. And it's funny. It was a difficult decision at the time, but it opened up doors I never thought about. It allowed me to retire earlier, as fate would have it. I did one other piece of work after that, and teach, and do some writing. I enjoy writing, and so it's funny. I like to think that maybe there was something about jumping. You know, when you jumped, you stood for something. You know, and I think, you know, in that job, I like to think that, you know, I tried to stand for something. You know, I was politically executed, but that's okay. It was for the right cause. And if you've never been hotly criticized or attacked in your life, you probably never stood for anything.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.